So now that the Cardano Shelly phase is behind us and we have already seen the implementation of all of the technological features which came as part and parcel of that stage, we as investors are now looking toward the future, and right now that means Goguen, which is the current stage that we are at in Cardano's development roadmap. And Goguen means one thing in particular for Cardano, and the big thing that Goguen will bring to the table when fully complete is smart contracts and the ability to build and use fully functioning smart contracts in a range of different applications, which is absolutely huge, and I think that many people are really underestimating the power of smart contracts and what they can really do. And to know what is likely to happen to the value of the Cardano platform and also to aid a following smart contract implementation, we should really understand what smart contracts are and where they are going to be used and how they create value. Essentially, a smart contract is a digital contract where the terms are actually built into the lines of code and projected onto the blockchain ledger, meaning that they can potentially save people and businesses a lot of money. And more than this, smart contracts do not require any centralized authority's intervention and still carry the legal effectiveness of regular contracts. In terms of where smart contracts can be used, we're talking about the derivatives market and insurance and investment banking, crowdfunding, healthcare administration, property law, accounting, credit enforcement, and voter identification, and there is just an endless list of other uses for smart contracts. And another thing to bear in mind is that the market for smart contract use and the number of potential applications is growing as the economy digitizes and becomes progressively more reliant upon and built around digital solutions. And if you ask me, it's about time that the legal industry got a bit more modern and accessible to average people and non-professionals, which is exactly what Cardano are doing with Marlow, which is a high-level domain-specific development language, which is just a programming language which is specific to a particular platform or domain. And Marlow is employed in the Marlow Playground, which is a development application for financial smart contracts which is also user-friendly for non-technical people. In other words, financial and legal professionals who are going to be the types of people who are using financial smart contracts but are not trained in programming. And as mentioned earlier in the video, the potential here is massive. Smart contracts have the capacity to disrupt almost every industry and have a strong use case in accounting and investment banking and crowdfunding, and all of these other industries which are using financial contracts, which is pretty much every industry out there. The incentive is to reduce legal costs and do business in a more transparent and more efficient way. Right now, when two parties are negotiating a financial contract, the process is slow and bureaucratic, as draft contracts are sent back and forth between the legal party representatives, and negotiations tend to happen through lawyers who are notoriously slow and expensive, billing the clients handsomely at every opportunity, which by the way is now standard industry practice. And this means that there are very high barriers to entry in businesses which require a lot of legal work to set up, which tends to be the case in many financial industries like investment banking or insurance. I mean, the legal cost for startups in these industries likely runs into the millions of dollars alone, not to mention the cost of everyday legal services as well. And I want to take a moment out to say that if you're enjoying this video so far and you're a Cardano investor or you just want to know more about this project, we have a lot more Cardano content out on a daily basis, so if you haven't yet done so, be sure to subscribe for those, and you'd really be helping me out as well. Now, smart contracts obviously won't replace lawyers and the need for legal services, but in many cases they will reduce the amount of legal input required in contract execution, and they will also make the whole process more transparent and more efficient, as every step of the process is recorded on a decentralized blockchain, which permitted parties have access to, meaning that everybody involved has the same level of information and know what's going on as soon as there is any kind of update or change. The question is now, how will the value of Cardano and more importantly ADA be affected and improved by the implementation of smart contracts? And the chain of logic is actually fairly simple and easy to follow. Smart contracts offer a valuable service which increases the number of people likely to use Cardano. In other words, the size of the target market is dramatically improved with the implementation of smart contract services. And this is very likely to translate into more use on the Cardano platform, as there is a large incentive to use smart contracts and therefore a reward for people who do use them. And of course, more use on the Cardano platform means a greater volume of transactions, and therefore a greater need for transaction validation. And how is it that ADA investors are rewarded for holding ADA? Of course through the staking dividend, which earns money in proportion with the number and the size of transactions which are validated, meaning that the staking rewards will increase in line with transaction volume, which is very likely to be increased with the addition of smart contracts to Cardano's repertoire of services. And in terms of how much the value is likely to increase, we'd need to delve into the industries where smart contracts are to be used, and then figure out how much they are worth and how large the transactions on Cardano are likely to be and how frequently they will take place. And so this topic really does deserve its own dedicated video, and I like to keep these videos short and simple wherever possible. So if you'd like to see that video, then be sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet done so already. Thanks for watching.